What's up, everybody? It's Josh Hudson. This is Start Sit Different Day here with Club Fantasy. Oh, the eve of the fantasy football playoffs, and we have not one, not two, but 3 Saturday games. I don't even know what to think about all this, but holy crap, we have some fun guests, and I'm super excited. Faith is back hosting. We have one of our contributors here with Club Fantasy, Joel Wirth, and of course, the wonderful, the fantastic, the most artistically gifted person I've ever met, Miss Sam Holt, joining us. We're talking Week 15. Let's get into it.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome to Start Sit Different Day. I was like, where are you?
I was like, are you high-fiving me, Joel? Is that what this is?
I don't know where I am.
Everybody. Sorry. Anyway, this is Start Sit Different Day, where it's a different day, but it's the same old shenanigans because we're still Club Fantasy.
Yeah.
And on Saturdays, it's like, free reign. It's early for us. It's earlier for Sam. Thank you, Sam, for being here.
Of course.
Early on a Saturday morning. We appreciate you livening up the bunch. We officially have the basement boys again because Sam is here, so I could put the boys in the basement.
Oh, maybe I should change the graphic thing now. Let's
I was
see.
looking for that, but I couldn't.
There it is. Pow!
There you
Oh,
are.
you can't see Joel's name, though. That's not fun. All right,
We
fine.
don't need to
Switch
see
it
Joel's
up,
name.
whatever. It doesn't feel appropriate using that without Ryan and Joe, though. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Or at least Joe. Because Ryan isn't here most of the time, which is sad.
This is true. I'm going to try to
Pulling out
remedy
Ryan.
that for next week.
Well, you mean the following week? Because next week is Christmas Eve.
I know.
Okay,
Can't believe Christmas is almost here. I can't.
I
believe
know.
it. I'm so behind on my Christmas shopping. It's
Are
embarrassing.
you?
Christmas
I'm
Eve,
done.
not Christmas Day. That's the point I'm getting at. Because last year on Christmas, we had to push the show to Thursday because it fell literally on Christmas. So I was like, all right, well.
Look, I know you hate Christmas, but a lot of people don't, which means a lot of people
It's 11 a.m. on
Christmas
Christmas Eve. We can still do a show. Come on, Faith. It's not,
Scrooge McDuck. We know what you're getting in your stocking from Santa. Spoiler alert, it's black and it burns energy. Like
Yeah,
your
man.
soul. Anyway. Once again, this starts a different day. That's Sam Holt. That's Joel Wirth. That's Scrooge McDuck. I am Faith. And before we get into the start sit that we need to address for the 3 games today, 3. Josh, why don't you tell the people who won't be playing, who might be playing, and who will be playing?
Who won't be playing? Probably all the players that you need to advance in the fantasy playoffs. That's
Probably.
That's the short and long of it.
All right,
Yeah, this season's been.
Mike Williams
terrible.
won't be playing. That's one of them.
Did they just rule him out too?
They rolled him out earlier this week.
Mike Williams?
For
No.
Zach Wilson?
Oh, you're talking about Mike White.
Oh, Williams White.
Confusing the hell out of me. I'm like, what are we doing here?
I gotta go change my lineup right
I was
now.
gonna say, wait a minute, heart attack.
Exactly. Oh my God. All right. Well, let's
That was
start with the
You're
quarterback
paying
position.
attention.
Mike White, not Mike Williams, is out, as is Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson. They've also been ruled out. Kenny Pickett is ruled doubtful. I haven't gotten to the running backs yet, Faith. Jesus. Thank you, Scampers. I appreciate you. Kenny Pickett's doubtful, which probably means he's not playing. So, Sam, you and your Steelers, good luck with Mason Rudolph or Mitchell Trubisky. That's what I'm going to say.
Good news
And
is
Trevor Lawrence is questionable. So there's that. The running back position. Now we can pull this up. Thank you, Mr. Scampers. Damian Harris has been ruled out, as have Damian Pierce and Dontrell Hilliard. Questionable is Josh Jacobs, presumably still dealing with a calf injury even after he ran for 300
I need
yards.
him to start for what it's worth. I have him in Scott Fishbowl. I need him to start.
You and a lot of people.
I don't
Aaron
have
Jones
many
is questionable. Ramondre Stevenson, questionable. Although he's been trending towards not playing. So I'm curious to see if he ends up playing because I believe he's only logged one practice this week. And Jeff Wilson in what is going to be a snowball up in Buffalo tonight is also questionable.
Our good
Wide
friend Laura
receivers.
will be
What's
at
up?
that game. Laura is calling that game. The Buffalo
In
Miami
Buffalo?
game.
Real? Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, she was in the NFL communications email. Did you not read that? Oh, wait, you
No.
don't get those.
Yeah, and you didn't drop it in the group chat, so thanks, Faith.
I like to keep some things to myself.
Wide receiver out this week are Cortland Sutton, Chase Claypool, Corey Davis, Rondell Moore, Traylon Burks, Nico Collins, Brandon Cooks, and Devontae Parker. Yikes. Questionable: Marquise Hollywood Brown, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Richie James, Kadarius Toney, and Julio Jones. At the tight end position, out is Hayden Hurst, and questionable: Saints tight end Juwan Johnson and Giants tight end Daniel Bellinger. And no kickers of note because there are no kickers to note. There you go. Faith, take it away.
Kickers are people too, Joshua.
These are people too.
Yes, but none made the injury report, so there's none we're talking about.
There are no kickers to know because there are no kickers to know. Shut up, Scrooge.
I love Saturday mornings.
All right. Well, we'll start with the first question. Jose wants to know Brady, Cousins, or Goff. If it's the same league as his next comment, it's a full PPR. So, Sam.
Brady, Cousins, or Goff? Well, I think the only reason why I'm hesitant about Goff, because he's been so good as of late, their Lions have been on a roll, is because they're going up against the Jets in New York. So whenever Jared Goff is away from home, he tends to not do well. And if it's outside, even worse. And the weather's not necessarily going to be the warmest. So I'm a little bit nervous about him. I feel like maybe the Cousins game should be a bit more of a shootout kind of a scenario. So you might have a bit more upside there. And Brady, I feel very nervous about starting Brady right now in any scenario. So I guess of those, I'd have to go with Cousins, but I don't love it. So I'd understand if you don't want to go with that.
Joel.
Of the three, it's Cousins by a mile. Sam's right. Goff is terrible. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is bad on the road because Goff's on the road. So I won't start him, especially against a good defense. That offense is cratered. They're done. So Cousins is the only viable option there.
I was about to say the only upside with Brady is the fact that he's throwing 40 plus times because that's just what they do. They can't generate a solid running game.
3 yards per target.
And then with that, the Bengals are on such a roll for the playoffs right now. I feel like I'm nervous to go up against them because like early in the season, they're still getting their feet under them after the Super Bowl hangover that most teams have, but now they're in full form. This is Burrow in full form, and likewise, their defense tends to step up with their offense. So I'm just a little bit nervous about that. I feel like Brady will throw a lot, but he could also get an interception a couple of times.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I'd go Cousins too. I saw a stat. Goff is averaging less than 10 fantasy points per game on the road.
It's brutal.
It is awful.
It's brutal. It's not just like, hey, maybe he's bad. It's like statistically terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I will say what gives me some level of confidence with Goff is that the Lions have been on such a roll lately. Like, hopefully they're kind of over this like road hangover that they've been on all season. But I mean, Goff on the road, like going back to like his Rams days, have been bad. He's a better home quarterback in that environment. So, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, this is Cousins for me.
All right. Full PPR. Another from Jose. Evan Ingram or Njoku? Sam.
I mean, Ingram just had a fantastic game, so it's hard to imagine benching him at this point. But I think I like the floor just a little bit better with Njoku. Again, we got the Browns, Ravens. This is always going to be a very tough divisional matchup. But what I don't like about the Jaguars is they're going against the Cowboys, and I feel like the Cowboys have a lot to, step up again to say that they want to make a playoff berth, and they're going to have to really show up and show out, and the defense is going to be a big part of that. So I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to end up with a couple interceptions. I think they're going to cover their receivers well, plus the tight ends. So for me, I'm going to go with Njoku.
Joel.
I'll say that in the tight end wasteland, this is pretty good options to have for if you don't have Kelsey. But I'm going to go with Ingram just because I think if there is a weakness on the Dallas defense, if there's a spot to exploit, it may be the seams. I like both, but I'll take Ingram.
Josh.
This is Njoku for me. If I remember correctly, Dallas is actually pretty solid against tight ends. I think on the season they're allowing the second fewest fantasy points to tight ends. They've only given up 450 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. So that I think alone is going to limit Ingram's upside. I love that he's been more involved in the offense, and I definitely believe this is quite the trap game for Dallas, but they're utilizing Njoku quite a bit in this offense, and even Deshaun Watson is starting to throw to him more. So, yeah, give me Njoku here.
All right. Good morning, Chris. In a PPR, he's asking a 2-parter. First part, Burrow or Fields, Sam?
Burrow or Fields? Got to go with Fields. I know why we're asking this question, and it's because we expect the Bengals to have a great show out against the Bucs because their Bucs are so wounded. However, it's the rushing upside I cannot walk away from. If you have Fields and you've managed to get to the fantasy playoff, it's because of him, so it's really hard to bench him. Hoping that the Bears can just show up a bit more than they typically would show up against the Eagles, and I just love the rushing upside with Fields, so it's really hard to bench him right now.
I have Fields and Allen in Scott Fishbowl. And I also have Stephon Diggs, who didn't do great last week, but I need them all to just step up because I need to make it to round 4. 5?
Yes.
4?
Yes.
Semis? I don't know when we're at. I don't know where we're at. Are we in round 4? I think we're in round 4. Okay. So yes, I needed, because we're cutting from
1,000 to 500.
Yeah.
Woo, that's a big cut.
Yeah.
That's a big cut.
Yeah, I'm going into the week. I think I'm like somewhere in the 6s. So
Scott likes horror movies. He's cutting deep.
All right, Joel. Burrow or Fields?
I agree with Sam. It's Fields just because of the rushing upside.
Josh.
Yeah, it's Fields for me. There's only like 4 quarterbacks I think I would start over Fields, and Burrow, while very close, is not one of them yet. Although it might be this week just because I don't think Josh Allen's going to do very well in that snow, but that's just me.
Will anybody do very well in the snow?
I think it's a prime Allen game because he's going to run for. I mean, that's going to be.
That's true.
How are you going to chase him down in the snow?
Yeah, he could very well have 8
run
rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Plus, he runs just like a giant, like X-Men type of figurine. He runs kind of like
the
this.
Stallion!
So he's not going to have any trouble in the snow. He's not like he's going to try his feet. He like stomps through as he runs.
Okay, Josh. When Sam did that, what did I picture? Who did I picture running?
I'm scared.
I honestly don't know. I really don't.
Phoebe.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. No, he totally runs like Phoebe from Friends. Yes. He is a Phoebe runner. Just big legs. Just yes.
100%.
So 100% accurate.
Love it.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Love a good Friends reference Saturday mornings.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so Chris also needs a flex. Adam Thielen, Jamal Williams, or Chris Moore, Sam?
I'm going to go with Thielen again. I mean, this game, again, we're playing indoors, so I'm going to stay away from the snow in any situation. I don't want to go anywhere near the Houston Texans. I don't want to put faith in them for any playoff contingent. And I get why you're saying Jamal Williams, just because you've got maybe he falls in the end zone, but I don't want to be touchdown dependent. I want a healthy floor at my flex, especially in PPR. So I'm going to go with Thielen.
Joel?
I agree. I think that Minnesota Colts game is going to shoot out a little bit. And, you know, if Jared Goff is terrible, then how many touchdown opportunities is Jamal Williams going to get? Probably not a whole lot. Houston, come on.
Too much.
No. You're not starting Chris Moore above Adam Thielen. Come on. No way.
Josh.
I will say there are a couple leagues where I am starting Chris Moore, and it's mostly out of desperation, but it's not in a
over
league where
Thielen.
I have Thielen.
Well, that's
so,
I was gonna say that's where Joel
give
said
me Adam
starting.
Thielen here for every reason that Joel and Sam said.
Once again, Joel, we have proven that Josh only listens to half of the things that people say, and only when he wants to hear them. Or he would have known that you would have said that you said you weren't starting Chris Moore over Adam Thielen.
No, I know that. I was just reiterating my own version of it. Jesus.
You were not reiterating.
Stop. Move on to the next question.
All right. Cesar says that he's considering starting Fields over Allen. Does he belong in a mental institution?
Starting Fields over Allen. I don't think that necessarily makes you crazy.
I'm sure you're crazy, but for other reasons.
For other reasons, sure. I don't know you personally. Perhaps there's other things that would warrant such.
He's hanging out with us on a
resignation.
Saturday, so clearly he's not mentally stable.
There's something, I don't know what's going on, but all the best. Still, I get why you're going with Fields over Allen. Again, you're probably hoping for the rushing upside, and we don't know just how much snow is going to be on the field to slow everyone down. I don't think it's crazy. I mean, would I do it myself? Probably not. I would still probably roll with Allen. I'd also wonder why you're still in a single quarterback league. I'm in almost exclusively 2 quarterback leagues in every situation. So, flip
We're
a
not
coin,
all degenerates, Sam. Come on now.
Flip a coin, and I get why you want to go Fields over Allen. Healthier rushing upside, better weather. You're not crazy.
So, as far as the snow, are they calling for a storm during the game or just snow on the field?
Well, I'm looking at the weather right now, and it looks like it's going to be anywhere between 1 to 6 inches throughout the day. So it's going to go up and down, consistently snowing. So there will be snow on the field for the game, and it probably will be snowing during the game. But will it be a blizzard? I don't know. Probably enough to make a snowman? Maybe. Not sure. Maybe a small snowman.
I feel like somebody needs to do that in the end zone as a touchdown celly. Just build a snowman.
That would be kind of amazing.
Or pretend to knock
might
on
get
a door,
a delay
like
game
Anna and
penalty
Elsa.
for that.
3 flags go up. Delay a game. One of them took my hat. Stealing the ref's hat to add to the snowman.
Yeah.
Minus 15 yards the next play.
I need to see that now.
Where'd you get that carrot from?
They need to have those options in Madden for like some sort of fantasy purposes.
So
Joel.
I would start Allen. I think he is the prime scoring option in that game. It's the night game, so if there is some snow, they should be able to clear it off during the game. He's going to be so hard to chase down in that game. There's no way I'm not starting him.
Did you see that Mike McDaniels was blasting the AC in the dome, and he had a shirt that said, "I wish it was colder"?
That dude he's so awesome.
Here's the thing. I read it somewhere it's almost like Mike McDaniels just showed up and said, "I'm the coach now. I do what I want."
Very much that attitude.
I believe it.
I mean, no matter how cold that dome was, it's not going to be Buffalo in late December with snow. So
not at all. That's funny.
All right, Josh.
Yeah, I'm still going Allen. I mean, I get the questions. I mean, anytime you see snow on the ground, it's always like panic time. But Allen's built for this. He'll be fine.
He's built different.
Exactly.
Plus, I mean, the Miami defenders, they got to chase Steph Diggs all over the field. They got to chase Gabe Davis over the field. Allen's got an arm that's big enough to go through wind if that's an issue. I don't think the snow hurts him. I don't think it hurts them at all. I think it's a much more of an issue for Tua and the Dolphins.
Correct.
Agreed, yeah.
I love Tua's comment though. Guys, it snows in Alabama too. That was funny. I liked it.
I feel like
Does it?
Is Alabama
not
snow,
like Buffalo, but yes.
No.
Buffalo snow? Alabama snow?
Alabama make
snow
it like
snow,
2 inches.
Over the course of the
Buffalo-
season?
A different
Yeah.
type of snow.
Yeah. Also, it's a
Unrelenting.
crap ton colder.
Yeah. No. I didn't know it snowed in Alabama. That was the surprising part for me on that quote. I was like, really? But
It snows in Georgia sometimes too, and if it makes it as far south as Atlanta, like the last time Atlanta got snow, it was a solid 2 inches. Okay, 2 inches of
it's
snow.
impressive.
People abandoned
Panicked.
their cars on
Yeah.
the interstate because
People don't
nobody
drive.
knew how to drive.
That's amazing. So good.
Literally, like there were cars lined up on the interstate.
Well, whenever
I'm
it
like-
hails in California, like at least where I live, people are like, "Oh my god!" And then what's cool is the hail can like build up on the beach, so it looks like there's snow on the beach. It looks cool, but
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
very rare that it happens.
The first time I actually saw hail fall was like this summer, I think, at work, and I was like, "This is so cool! It's balls of ice."
It would hurt if you're running outside.
It would. All right. Good morning, Rachel.
Rachel.
She said, "I need help." Don't we all? She lost Mike White in a superflex. Should she grab Trubisky or Ripien, or would you start Thielen, Boyd, Murray, or Rashad White in that flex spot? Sam, what would you do?
I mean, I wouldn't want to risk my fantasy playoffs with either of those quarterbacks. And if you can super flex and it's PPR, all the more reason for me to start Adam Thielen there.
Joel?
Which Murray is that?
Probably Latavius.
Oh, I got Kyler stuck in my head.
He's out. Come on now.
I know.
To be fair, you probably get more points from Kyler Murray than Brett Rippon this week or Trubisky. So.
With the interceptions that Trubisky could throw, plus they've been rumored to start Mason Rudolph, and because it's a rumor, maybe they go back and forth between the two, and then Rippon again. I mean, I just don't want to. No, thank you. So it's got to be Thielen.
Trubisky's a hard no. I would go with Rippon. He looked adequate last week. I mean, it's the Chiefs, but it's not like the Cardinals are that great. It's going to be in Denver, so it's at altitude. I'd give that a shot. I don't like really. I would take that floor over any of those other guys.
Josh?
I refuse to start bad quarterbacks in a super flex spot just because they're quarterbacks. So give me Adam Thielen. Although I do like me some Rashad White this week, I'll take the upside with Thielen.
There you go, Rachel. You got 2 different answers. Wendy, good morning. Would you consider playing Chris Moore instead of Deonta Foreman since all the wide receivers in Houston are taking a break? Sam.
I mean, I get it. I get the question, but no, I'm still not starting Chris Moore. Still going to go with Deontay Foreman. It was a weird week last week too, considering that Hubbard and Blackshear got more run than Foreman. That was bizarre. I can't imagine that continuing, just with how good Foreman has been this season. And again, they're going against the Steelers, where I feel like you can run against the Steelers just fine. So I think I'm going to still go with Foreman.
Joel.
I'm still angry with Deonta Foreman because he was part of my Scott Fishbowl entire collapse team, but I'm still going to go with. I'm not starting Chris Moore. Come on. No to Chris Moore. No.
Is that just a no to Chris Moore on the day? Like, is that just a blanket no to Chris Moore?
No, I'm on the Chris Moore bandwagon. Give me Chris Moore this week.
You are a brave man.
Why are you yelling?
Man.
I need to get my point across because everybody's disagreeing with me.
Maybe there's a reason for that.
There's no reason for me to trust Foreman. He catches no passes and he's touchdown dependent. If you're fading Jamal Williams, I don't know why you're not fading Deonta Foreman. Just my opinion.
Because he gets more carries than just at the goal line?
Okay. I mean, the Steelers' defense in general is just better with TJ Watt there. So
yeah, but you can still run on him.
Yeah. Because he's not, unfortunately, he's not like Bugs Bunny where he can just like duplicate himself across the line and like really block the runners. So you just got to get around him.
I don't think that Sam Darnold's going to be able to do what he wants to do this week against the TJ Watt defense like he did last week against the no-name Seattle defense.
Brooke Pryor, if you're watching, I'm going to need you to use the phrase TJ Watt can't duplicate himself like Bugs Bunny in an article this week. Just throwing that out there.
I'm sure you can text her about it later.
All right. Scampers wants to know Jonathan Taylor over under 85.5 rushing yards. Sam.
Ooh. Man, they're so good with these over under lines. I'm always so bad with my numbers. I'm like, I would love to say over. I really want to just say over because it's the playoffs, but probably going to go under.
Who are they playing, Josh?
The Vikings.
I'm going under.
Vikings.
Yeah,
Vikings. Yeah. I feel like under is safer bet. I feel like this is going to end up being more of a shootout. I feel like the receivers are going to benefit more, so I'm going to go with under.
Joel said under, and Josh, you taking under?
I'm going over. I'm going way over.
Joel's taking over. Oh.
Yeah. Minnesota's
KLOL.
defense is just awful. And I think after that Dallas game, you can't trust putting the ball in Matt Ryan's hands. They've got to lean heavy on Jonathan Taylor. I'm going way over.
Way over.
All right. Cesar needs to start 2 wide receivers and 2 flex positions. He has, I'm assuming that's Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard. Well, I'm blanking on Michael Pittman. I was like, why am I blanking on Pittman's first name? I'm assuming Gabe Davis, Chris Olave, and Jerry Jeudy. Sam. So pick 4.
Is it pick 4? Wait,
It's
so
2 wide receivers.
Well, at
2
least
flex.
2 wide receivers.
At least 2 receivers.
2 receivers and 2 flex. Okay. I mean, still going to go with CeeDee Lamb. I'm not benching him in any scenario. Gonna go with Jamar Chase easily. I feel like I'm so nervous about waddling today, but
Waddling.
waddling. I kind of want to go Pittman and Olave here, but I feel like that's getting cute, so I'm gonna go with Waddle and Pittman.
And then 2 flex.
Oh, those would be the 2. Those would be the 2 flex.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
I think Chase is the wide receiver 1 this week, so he's the easy one. I agree with Sam. There's no way you're benching CeeDee Lamb. I love Olave this week. I think they're going to roll. I think the Saints are going to roll the Falcons. So I will put him in the flex, and then I'll go with Pollard. I think he's just getting more run than Zeke is. I think he's the safest one there.
Josh.
Chase, Lamb, Pollard, Pittman. I mean, you're not considering benching Chase. The way that Pollard's playing right now, you can't bench him. CeeDee Lamb is a target hog, and Pittman has by far the best matchup. So I'm gonna shoot for upside in my flex spot with Pittman.
All right. Speaking of Pittman,
unlike Joel, I think Desmond Ridder gets the W this week for the Falcons.
Speaking of Pittman, Eddie wants to know Pittman or Watson in the flex spot in a full PPR. Sam.
It's hard to bench Watson right now, but I just love the matchup so much for Michael Pittman, so I'm gonna lean Pittman there. But
Since it's a flex spot, is this Christian or Deshaun?
This is probably Christian Watson. I'm assuming. Yeah.
One shouldn't assume.
Good point.
I would think that if it was a super flex, they would put super flex spot. That's typically. I think we're just too ingrained in this expert leagues where everybody has a super flex spot that we always assume quarterbacks in these types of situations.
I feel like it's harder when someone just puts Williams and you're like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those. Can you narrow it down, please?
Yeah. I hate that. This one of my biggest pet peeves on Twitter is when people talk about trades and they only give last names. First of all, who are you talking about? Second of all, I don't know your roster. How do I know who this benefited? Exactly. Third of all, if it didn't benefit you and them, why would you make the trade?
Facts.
Very true. Very true. They just said it's Christian in the chat. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Christian Watson.
Thank you, Eddie.
Appreciate it
for clarifying. Joel.
As a Packer fan and the world's foremost Christian Watson enthusiast, this is 1,000% Christian Watson.
All right, Josh.
Yeah, I do love Pittman's matchup, but the one thing that I know this season that the Rams give up, and especially Jalen Ramsey, it's touchdowns. Give me all the Christian Watson this week.
I will amend my statement. I will go with Watson with you guys. It's just too good of a matchup.
Josh Allen is in fact Phoebe.
Love it.
All right, our good buddy Carrington wants to know Zach Wilson or Baker Mayfield. Ugly, he knows. Oh, but it's Scott Fishbowl. Scott Fishbowl has left him with this choice. Sam.
Oh, I do not want to have to start Zach Wilson in this one. Oh my God. But this one sucks. I'm so sorry that you have to make this decision. I feel like no matter what I pick, it's going to be wrong. So I'm going to say Baker because he's at least got some gusto behind him and the team is behind him, as opposed to Zach Wilson, who's probably got shaving cream in his locker because nobody likes him there. So I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield, who's probably starting his day off happier than Zach Wilson is.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. So I heard somewhere, I think it was I don't remember where, but Mike White went to like 10 different doctors to try to get cleared to play this weekend. And
Like,
they were like,
please,
no.
somebody clear him. And he's like, he's not even walking straight, guys. They can't. They're like, how do you feel, bud? And he's just like, what? I don't, what day
Purple.
is it? You're like, no, purple. I smell purple.
I can smell colors.
Carrington did just chime in. That or start Greg Zerline, the kicker, and go no QB.
I've never seen that move.
This is the only league I will say kickers fucking matter. So,
Carrington, are you playing on Sleeper or MFL?
no, he's on MFL.
Oh, okay.
That I do know.
So yeah, because in
Yeah,
Sleeper
no,
you have
I'd
to
still
start a
wouldn't.
kicker. So
No, I definitely still wouldn't do that. Yeah, I guess I would go Baker there, but I don't feel great about it. I guess the only upside that you have with Zach Wilson is, again, like, you can imagine Garrett Wilson having an okay day. So he has had a connection with that receiver before. He's been able to make it work. And that would be the only upside there.
Joel.
As bizarre as it is to say, and Josh, you've been hammering this on the other show, you cannot run on the Lions. So if they're going to win this game, they're going to have to throw. I will say the last time Baker Mayfield played against Green Bay was Christmas Day last year, and he threw 4 picks. You're not starting Greg Zerline outdoors in December. No. I would go Zach Wilson.
The upside is you don't get negative points for misses in Scott Fishbowl.
That's fair.
That's good to know.
I cannot bank on Zach Wilson. I can't do it. There's just no, like, I think he's good for the Jets as a football player, but not a fantasy football player. You know what, Carrington? Dial up the 4th kicker. Let's go, baby. Get in there. That's how you advance in tournaments, is doing something different. Go with the kicker, because I don't like either of those quarterbacks. Especially with, like, the way that quarterback scoring is in Scott Fishbowl. Those guys are likely to get you, like, either 3 points or negative 10. Yeah, go with the kicker.
All right. Johnny wants to know, Pickens or Hollywood Brown in the flex? Sam.
Ooh, well, I'm kind of down on Hollywood Brown this week simply because obviously Kyler's not there. Pickens at least is a big play upside. I think both of these, depending on your situation, you're literally swinging for the fences. So I would go with Pickens on that one.
Joel.
For me, this comes down to who's playing quarterback for the Steelers. I mean, if it's Trubisky, I want nothing to do with Pickens, because it doesn't. Even when he was playing before, he never looked at Pickens. So if it's Rudolph, then I'll give him a shot. Otherwise,
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Josh. Listen, that's how my brain operates, and it's almost Christmas. So
give me Pickens reluctantly. Yeah, I really don't like either of these matchups, but I think you kind of have to assume that J.C. Horn's probably going to be shadowing or dialing up on Deontay most of the game. And J.C. Horn has been lights out this year. So give me Pickens.
Jose wants to know, pick one wide receiver and one flex. Palmer, Thielen, Connor, and Knight in a full PPR. Sam.
Palmer. I'm gonna stick with Thielen. I'm gonna go with Connor, because the Cardinals, again, without Murray, last week we saw them lean so heavily on James Conner. So I think he's gonna have a very healthy floor. So he's gonna be my flex, and I'm gonna go with that with Thielen still. I'm gonna roll with that because I started it earlier. Gotta stick with my guns.
Yeah, I agree on Connor. Whenever Colt McCoy's in there, they lean heavily on Connor. So I think he's got the biggest volume of these 4. I'll go with Palmer. I think that game is really going to shoot out. That's the over game of the weekend. Probably the highest scoring game of the week. I will take Palmer. Tennessee's pass defense is bad.
Josh.
See, I was leaning Palmer and Thielen. The Broncos, man, they can play some defense, but
their run defense isn't that good, though. It's not great.
It's been up and down. Yeah, it's more middle of the pack versus their pass defense.
I mean, Connor's more of a volume play, but
yeah, he is, and they'll dump off to him. He'll get some receiving work. As much as I love me some Zonovan Knight, you're not doing it this week against Detroit. Yeah, give me Connor and Thielen. I'll agree with Sam. I do like Palmer though. I love that matchup, and I was really worried last week that with Evans and Allen both back, like, all right, Palmer's going to fall to the wayside. Well, apparently it's Gerald Everett that's fallen to the wayside, and all three of the wide receivers are getting run. So
yeah, that's been brutal.
Yeah, I definitely like Palmer this week, but I think Thielen's safer.
Palmer's target volume has really been there, even through all the injuries when they're healthy. I mean, he's getting target volume.
Yeah, he is.
All right, Tony Talladega. That's not your last name, but that's how it processed in my brain. So that's what it is now. Start Donovan Peoples-Jones over T. Higgins and J.K. Dobbins in the flex over White and Dillon. Is that a question? I'm assuming.
Yeah. I know for you, the grammar police, like most people don't do, punctuation in these types of situations.
So is it Donovan Peoples-Jones over Higgins along with Dobbins?
That's how I read it.
But it's over White.
Yeah, I got DPJ over Higgins, and
that's the wide receiver spot.
Dobbins
yeah,
in
and then
the
the flex spot. Yeah, that's okay.
I mean, I was one of the people that obviously got very brutally hurt last weekend, and my feelings were hurt when T. Higgins didn't do anything. Yeah. And he did get some practice this week, so it's trending that he's playing, but it's hard to trust. This is the playoffs. I want points over anything else. But again, with the Browns Ravens, it could be a bit more of a grinded out game, just because of those two defenses, the way they play each other. So I think I still gotta go with Higgins. I don't love it, but his upside with Joe Burrow is just too hard to pass up. And then for the flex, I'm not quite sure, so I got to read it a little bit more.
Well, let's answer the wide receiver question, then we'll come back around.
Yeah,
How about
I don't know that one.
There you go.
I'm going to start DPJ over Higgins. Like Sam, I was very angry with the Zach Taylor shenanigans with Higgins last week. DPJ is like Palmer. I mean, he's just getting consistent targets in that offense. So, and do we know if Higgins is healthy, even if he does get full run?
It's a hamstring. He's never healthy.
Yeah, hamstring is bad.
He's playing against a better pass defense. And I mean, Tampa seems like they're packing it in, but I mean, Carlton Davis is still pretty good. I'm going to start DPJ over Higgins.
Josh.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I would go DPJ too. I do believe this is a Amari Cooper game. He's so much better at home, and the Browns are at home this week. But all Donovan Peoples-Jones needs is one catch or one punt return, as we've seen before. So they're letting Watson throw it. This will be now his third game back, so he's slowly knocking the rust off. As much as I love T. Higgins, I can't trust him. I really can't. And plus, you really need to make this decision because the Browns play today, whereas since he plays tomorrow, so you can't really wait it out.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, Sam, are you prepared to answer the flex question?
I am mentally, emotionally prepared to answer. I'm assuming, assuming this White is Rashad White. I can't remember any other ones right now, but it's early and I don't drink coffee anymore, so bear with me. I'm gonna go with AJ Dillon. I don't love it, but Aaron Jones is still dinged up, and you can absolutely run on the Rams right now. They're just not a scary defense. So for me, I'm gonna go with AJ Dillon, who looked good recently, very recently.
Joel.
I'm going to stick with Dobbins just because I hate Tyler Huntley. I think he's terrible. And I think they're going to have to run. Cleveland's run defense is brutal. So I think they're going to commit to the run. They're not going to go with Gus Edwards or any other nonsense like that. So I will go with Dobbins. I think he's the safest of the three.
Josh?
Yeah, for me, this is Dobbins. White is close just because I know he's splitting with Lenny, but they're still working him in enough. Both of them are getting plenty of target volume, plenty of touches in the run game. But I was a little nervous with Dobbins last week, and dude came out flat out flying. And if he can do that again against a really shitty Browns run defense, give me all the J.K. Dobbins.
All right. Josh, only because I can't remember what you said about Ramondre Stevenson like an hour ago.
Well, luckily, this decision can easily be made for you because Dillon and the Packers play Monday night. Stevenson, I believe, has only logged one practice this week. They did just rule out Damian Harris. So you can take this all the way up to game time, Mike, thankfully. So you can pivot to Dylan if necessary. But yeah, I think this is pretty easy. If Stevenson plays, you're playing Stevenson against a Raiders team that is not good at stopping the run.
100%.
Okay. F. Once
Love it.
I know. Does he start Diggs still? They're so worried because I don't know who F is. So.
I mean, I get why you're worried. I talked about all this weather and nonsense and madness, but if someone's going to end up with a touchdown in this game for like a receiving touchdown in this game for the Bills, it's going to be Stephon Diggs. So still going to start him.
Joel?
Like I said earlier, I think Diggs on a slick field is going to be impossible to cover. I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah, that dude is such a good route runner.
Yeah.
Josh?
Yeah. I mean, it would help if we knew your other options.
I can't imagine benching Diggs for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't either.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's. I mean, hypothetically, I know you guys have been really down on him, but like, Chris Moore, like, yeah, let's roll. No, I'm just kidding. I just had to throw that one in there. No, you're starting Diggs, buddy.
All right, Sawyer in a 16-team league. Hopefully, you guys know who they are. Pick one PPR.
Pick one.
Rashid Shaheed.
That's the New Orleans wide receiver.
Yep.
Okay. Dare
Ogunbowale.
I was like, I know it. I just have to look at it. And Kevin Harris.
That's the easy one.
if Damian Harris and Ramondre are out, Sam.
Man, how your
16-team leagues are rough.
16-team leagues are brutal. Oh my God. I know. I'm just like the things that have happened to bring you here, and you brave soul for making it this far. And hopefully the reason why you're asking these questions is because you're in the playoffs. So you're like, I have to figure it out, which I mean, I get, but oh my God. I'm going to go with
playoffs in a 16-team league. More power to you.
I'm going to go with Rashid Shaheed simply because I think that this is a fantastic matchup for the Saints. I think they're going to roll over the Falcons, and I think they'll be able to get up and early. Plus, besides Chris Olave.
She just stole the Falcons catchphrase.
My bad. I also feel like they're very limited in terms of who their receivers are. It's just Chris Olave, and they are ignoring Alvin Kamara in the passing game for whatever reason. He's just not getting the work that he typically does. So I'm going to give it to Shaheed on this one. Upside there.
I mean, Shaheed's line is probably going to be one catch for 60 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, if you're okay with 13
points,
PPR,
let's go.
Yeah, I would take that. You can't start. I'm not starting anybody on Houston. No way. No. I don't care. I'm not starting anyone on Houston, even though Ogunbowale is a former Badger and I love him. I'm not starting him. Kevin Harris, if Damian and Ramondre are both out, is interesting. That's it. If you want upside, I'd go with Harris. If you just want a safe 13 points, I'd take Shaheed.
Josh.
For me, the moment that you feel like you can trust Kevin Harris, Pierre Strong gets all the work. So fuck Patriots running backs outside of Ramondre Stevenson. You're never, ever playing Dare Ogunbowale in his probably 2.3 points. And it's a 16-team league, so I'm always shooting for upside. So give me Shaheed.
All right. We have 14 minutes, and there are still 16 questions in the chat, which is...
Love it!
That's how you know we've made it to the playoffs, because
big time.
We never have this many at 15 minutes still. So yes, like Sam said, we head into the lightning round.
Lightning round. Go with your gut.
Go with your gut. Short explanations only. Ryan wants to know, pick one, Waddle, Pittman, or Stevenson. With Stevenson playing tomorrow and not knowing if he will play. Sam.
That is tough because of these, I definitely would love Stevenson, but you don't know if he's going to play, and that is definitely a hitch in this step. Again, I'm going to go with weather for Waddle, and that being an issue, I'm going to go with Pittman.
Joel?
I agree. Even if Stevenson's out, I would rather, or if Stevenson is playing, he's still hurt. I wouldn't trust him. Pittman's the safest one there.
Josh?
Pittman. Although I really need to see a Waddle in the snow. I'm just saying.
Snow penguin.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Waddle in the snow.
All right. Tight end Hunter Henry Okonkwo or Waller, Sam?
We haven't said his name in a while.
I know.
Is Waller
I
cleared?
almost said Walker, and I was like, no, that's
Yeah, they
Waller.
activated Waller and Renfro off IR.
Hunter
Really?
Renfro, white chocolate.
Did they activate him or just open his window?
I thought they activated him. Let me see.
I thought they just opened the window. I don't think he's active yet.
Hang on.
I would love him because I've got some tight end premium leagues that have been
He's still
wasting.
showing up
volume.
on IR in a couple of my leagues, so
All right, so maybe I lied. I'm sorry.
wouldn't commit either way to potentially activating.
Would not
yeah.
be the first time.
Yeah, I'm not trusting Waller plus first game back.
Coach Josh McDaniels has yet to decide whether Renfro will be activated for Sunday's game against the Patriots. That was a day ago.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah,
he's still listed on IR in flexual misconduct.
Ah,
such a fun name for a league. Way to
I
go,
love that
Ryan!
league.
I have to face.
I think we have to credit Christian for that one.
Oh, do we? I didn't know. It was
Yeah,
him.
because he was like, "What in the flexual hell is this?"
And then it was Ryan. Ryan rolled with flexual misconduct.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
an all flex league, Sam, is what it is.
Except
Okay.
for kicker and defense.
I was a little
Everything else is
confused. I
flex.
was like, what?
Yeah, everything is flex, but kicker and defense. I want to know why I have to face Chris Molina in the first round of the playoffs. That is some baloney.
Well, you didn't score as many points as 3 through 7 or 3 through 6, so that's why. Go ahead, Sam.
But this question, I'm going to go with Okonkwo. He has a much higher target volume compared to Henry right now. So I'm going to go with the high volume possibility for the Jags.
Joel.
Okonkwo is the Titans' number one receiving option without Treylon Burks. So I think he's the default option here.
Josh.
We getting chiggy with it in LA this weekend. Let's go. Give me Okonkwo.
Blurby wants to know Tua or Huntley. Sam.
Oh, that's a brutal spot to be in. For this one, I wouldn't bench Tua for Huntley simply because I don't think it's going to be a high scoring affair for the Ravens. Again, I think this is going to be kind of a grinded out game. So I'm going to go with Tua still. Don't love it. I get why we don't love it.
Even in the snow?
Even in the snow. He can do short passes. He doesn't have to do the big air yards, air it out downfield.
Remember, it snows in Alabama, guys.
Yeah, and he's been practicing in air-conditioned buildings. So you got to trust that, and the ice is going to keep the swelling down and any injuries. So, yay. Going to go.
I think it was Brooke Pryor who tweeted or posted on Instagram something about along the whole Mike McDaniels thing. She's like, I want a team to bring in a snow machine for their games against Buffalo into their practice. I'm like, that would be fantastic. All right, Joel.
Tua. Tyler Huntley's terrible. I mean, look at his two games at the end of the year last year against the Rams and Pittsburgh. When they had a chance to make the playoffs, he just completely soiled the bed. He was brutal. There's no way I'm ever starting Tyler Huntley, ever.
Josh.
Tua.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now 9 minutes left, and we still have 14 questions.
So
I need zero explanations whatsoever. I just need an answer now.
I'm really bad at that.
I know. It's okay. I'll cut you off, Sam. Okay. All right. Nathan has a big one in flex PPR. Olave, Swift, McKinnon, or Cam Akers. Sam.
I'm going to go with Olave.
Joel.
Love Olave this week.
Josh.
Olave.
Oh my gosh, is that the first unanimous thing that you've ever said today? I'm so proud of you. Christian Watson or Deontay Johnson, Sam?
Christian Watson.
I was going to say, I don't even need to ask. Joel?
This is not how I saw the beginning of this season going. Give me Christian
But this is where we are. This is where we are.
Which, for what it's worth, is a big thing for Josh to say because Deontay Johnson's his boy.
I mean, I love him too.
All right. Mike says, as a Jets fan in Zach, we have to put trust against the second worst defense in Darnold. George wants to know, is he crazy for playing Mike Evans over Jamal Williams? Sam, yes or no?
Only a little bit, but Mike Evans hasn't had a touchdown, I think, since week 4.
Okay,
Joel.
Joel.
That start, so no.
Mike Evans.
Josh.
I'd still go Evans.
Yeah.
Lawrence or Cousins, Sam?
I'm going to go with Cousins.
Joel.
Agree.
Josh.
Love Lawrence, but give me Cousins this week.
All right.
Sure.
Cousins or Fields?
Fields. Got to go the rushing upside.
Fields.
Joel. Josh.
Fields.
Zeke or Jamal J. Swag Daddy Williams in a PPR?
I'm going to go with Zeke. He's looked better later, like late in the season.
Joel.
Still Zeke.
Josh.
Zeke.
ETN, Mike Evans, Jerry Jeudy, or Zonovan Knight at flex this week? Sam.
Ooh. This one's harder. I guess I'll go with. I want to go with Mike Evans. I want to go with ETN, but my brain says Evans.
My mind is telling me yes. Joel.
I'm not super happy about any of these, but I'll take Mike Evans.
Josh.
I'm going to go Jeudy. Even with the backup quarterback.
Rodgers or Cousins? Sam.
I guess give me Rodgers for the first time because he can dominate the Rams defense.
Joel.
Primetime game in the snow. Rodgers is he's gonna show out. This is the kind of game that he lives for.
Josh.
Fuck Rodgers. Give me 13.
I was going to say, and it all depends on the last time Rodgers took ayahuasca. Non-PPR flex, Devonta Smith, Waddle, or I'm assuming DeAndre Swift?
Yeah. I mean, it's not Taylor, so.
You never know.
Man, any other week I would say Waddle. I guess I'm going to go. Hey, man. I guess I'll go with Smith.
Joel.
This feels like an AJ Brown game, so I'll take Swift.
Josh.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Swift. With Goddard coming back, that's going to take a lot away from Devonta.
All right. Would you consider benching Tyreek because of the weather, Sam?
No, still starting him. I don't love it. You just have to, light an extra candle. It'll be fine.
Okay, Joel also says no because he's shaking his head.
Yeah,
Sam said light a candle.
Yeah, go chase
He's
him
just
with a
like,
candle.
Diggs, you're going to try and chase that guy around in the snow? Come on.
Yeah. And
No
the ice
way.
is going to help his ankle. It's been bugging him,
Exactly.
Josh.
Yeah, you're not sitting Tyreek. The only way I'm sitting Tyreek is if there's literally out or IR next to his name.
Yeah.
I don't care what the conditions are.
All right. Ramsey said several questions. First, Rodgers or Cousins. We already established that, depending on who you are.
Okay.
With Damien F. Rodgers, to quote Josh. With Damian Pierce out, he has AJ Dillon and Rashad White, but he doesn't know who to play. So we'll start there. Dillon or White, Sam?
I'm going to go with Dillon just because Aaron Jones is a bit dinged up and I don't love that for him. So I think Dillon has a chance to make a big splash there.
Joel.
This is what they drafted AJ Dillon for. And Rashad White's getting volume, but he's not scoring. He's not doing anything with it. So I take
Josh.
Dillon.
Is this PPR or standard? If it's PPR, I'm going White. Standard, I'm going Dillon.
Okay. And then starting at flex, Christian Watson or Deontay Johnson. I also think we established
just
this one,
answered
but
that?
we'll go through it again. All at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Christian Watson.
Okay. And then start Foreman, Damien Harris, if Ramondre is out, Chark or Gibson, Sam?
Ooh. Man, I want to say DJ Chark, but not this week. Next week, DJ Chark. I guess I would go with Harris if Ramondre's out.
Harris has already been
Harris
ruled
is
out.
out.
Oh, wait, I was going to say he's
Yeah.
already ruled out. Yeah, so I guess I would go with
Foreman, Chark or Gibson.
Then I would actually go with Gibson in this one because we've got a rematch of, Washington versus Giants, and they love to run up the score and then tie. So we might get that again. And it could happen.
Joel.
Agree with Sam. Gibson.
Josh.
Gibson.
All right. And in a half PPR, Pickens or Curtis Samuel, Sam?
For the same reason I just said, I'm going to go Curtis Samuel.
Joel.
Samuel hasn't gotten really any runs since Dotson came back, so I'll go Pickens.
Josh.
Samuel, he actually gets runs, rushing attempts. That helps in half PPR.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you clear the board in a lightning round, except for Carrington.
Chimes in at the last second.
T-Law or Deshaun the misogynist. That's fantastic, by the way.
Ugh.
Watson.
It's brilliant, but
for what it's worth, even if it was like Scrooge McDuck or Deshaun Watson, I'm starting Scrooge McDuck because, to quote
Gross.
Josh, F Deshaun Watson.
yeah,
That's how I feel about that. I would start Darkwing Duck over Deshaun Watson. Let's be real.
Darkwing Duck.
Love me some Darkwing Duck.
And now the DuckTales theme song is stuck in my head.
That's a good oldie but goodie. I like that one. Actually,
Duckburg.
I feel good about Lawrence going on this one just because I think that he's going to have to throw it a lot to keep up with the Cowboys. So I like the idea of him having more passing yards than Deshaun Watson in this one.
Sure.
All the Ducks over Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence.
All the Ducks. Unless it's the Oregon. They're not so great. Gosh.
T-Law. Because fuck them Cowboys.
Wow, that's real original coming from an Eagles fan. Cole Kmet or Driscoll, Sam.
Okay. We're still going to go with Cole Kmet. He's a safety blanket for Fields, so I'm going to have to go with him.
Scampers likes to troll because he knows how much Club Fantasy traditionally hates on Cole Kmet. So,
Oh, okay.
but we'll answer it honestly, Joel.
I'm starting 0 Texans this week. I will take him in.
Josh.
I'm assuming this is on Yahoo, where Driscoll has the QB tight end designation, or Scampers really is just trolling. You don't start tight ends against the Eagles. I'm sorry. So I will take Driscoll in this instance.
Also, Ducks fly together.
Love it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Speaking of going, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12 o'clock. However, before we go anywhere, I have nothing good for that.
Yeah, you got nothing. I was waiting for it. I'm like, come on, where's the good segue here? Jeez.
You know what? You know, if you need a good segue between your body parts, Josh has something for you.
You know what? I'll take it. So this episode of Club Fantasy's Start Sit Different Day is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. It includes the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver groin deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all of your goodies. So many great products. I'm not going to go into much detail because we have lovely ladies here tonight, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it PG
noon.
rated. But
Tonight. It is tonight for none of us.
well, it's still morning for Sam. She's on the West Coast, so
It's still not tonight for any of us.
What did I say? Did I say tonight? Oh,
Yes.
Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so join the over 5 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer just for you. If you head over to manscaped.com, pick out the products that you absolutely love, and I will definitely hype up the Performance Boxer Briefs. They are great. The material is fantastic. It doesn't ride up, and it's very comfortable. Use promo code Club Fantasy at checkout, save 20% off, and get free shipping during this lovely holiday season. Once again, go to manscaped.com, use promo code Club Fantasy, save 20%, and get free shipping at manscaped.com.
Sam and Joel, do you have time for 3 more questions, or do you need to go?
I can do rapid fire. Let's do these last couple.
All right, last 3. In your half PPR, Juju, Foreman, Pittman, or Rashad White, Sam?
Gonna go with Pittman still. Love the upside here.
Joel?
Pittman.
Josh?
Pittman.
All right, Godwin or Mike Williams? Godwin or Mike Williams, half PPR. Sam?
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Mike Williams. Don't love it.
Joel?
I like both of these because Mike Hilton's out for Cincinnati, so I love that for Godwin. So I'm going to go with him.
Josh.
Big Mike. Give me all the Mikey dub this week.
All right, Donovan Knight or Jamal Williams. Sam, remember these are half PPR.
I'll go with Jamal Williams.
Joel.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I'll go with Jamal.
Josh.
I am a Knight rider in this scenario, so give me Zonovan Knight.
Love that.
I got to give a shout out to Howard Bender on that one because it's one of his serious things. So. See, thank you, Scampers. That's the segue that we needed. We needed to talk about Buffalo before going into this game.
Listen, Josh usually reminds me, and I was focused on getting through all of the questions,
and that's
not
okay. That's okay.
Josh's big fancy segue. See, Joe would have reminded me because Joe's better.
This is why he's your regular co-host on Saturdays.
This is why we don't let Josh co-host.
I just read what Mr. Scampers wrote. Be smooth as a penguin gliding through snow. Manscaped. That's a fantastic tagline for a commercial that were to air tonight.
Sam's about half a second behind the conversation. It's okay.
Sorry.
There's a delay in the Pacific time zone. It's okay. It takes a while to get there. We get it. Totally get it. Edward's got a big question. He needs to start 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs in a flex in a full PPR. Ramondre, Zeke, Kamara, Rashad White, Swift, Godwin, Judy, Waddle, or Lamb. Sam.
2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Okay, so definitely going to go with CeeDee Lamb off the top for my receivers. I'm going to go with Zeke. I'm going to go with Swift, Godwin, and I'm going to flex Waddle and just hope for a penguin in the snow.
Godwin and CD is the easy receiver call. It's Kamara and Swift and Zeke for the other 3.
Josh.
CD, Godwin, Zeke, White. I gotta trust that Kamara gets going this week against Atlanta. So yeah, I'll go those 5.
And then Cousins, Brady, or Danny Dimes. Sam.
Sorry, every time I see Danny Dimes, it's blah. Just gross taste in my mouth. I'm gonna go with Cousins.
Joel.
Cousins.
Josh.
Yeah, it's Cousins.
All
Never
right.
Danny Dimes.
We did
Never Danny Dimes.
Never.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Start Sit Different Day for Week 15, aka the beginning of the fantasy playoffs for most leagues. If you made it thus far and made it to the playoffs in your leagues, congratulations. If you're like me and didn't make the playoffs and just once I'm one of those people that if I didn't make the playoffs, I just stopped setting a roster because I stopped caring. Whoops.
Oh, Faith.
I know. I'm not a degenerate like you people. Before we say goodbye, Sam, tell the people who you are and where they can find you.
Hey guys, I'm Sam Holt. Follow me on Twitter at Samantha R. Holt, and you can follow me. Make sure you tune into episodes every Tuesday on AMP Radio with my lovely co-host, Mr. Elliot Christ. He and I tackle your waiver wire questions on Tuesdays on AMP. That's at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday.
Also, if you are not following Matthew Berry Fantasy Life on the socials, you should be because that's where you can see all of Sam's amazing graphic design artwork because she's a baller.
Thanks, guys. I've got a couple drawings this morning, so it'll be fun.
Joel, tell the people who you are and where they can find you.
I'm Joel Wirth at the Joel Wirth on Twitter. My Blurred Lines column for Club Fantasy just dropped yesterday. And you can occasionally find me at dynastypros.com when I have time to write there.
Josh.
Add the one Hudsonian, but just follow Club Fantasy. Club Fantasy FFL, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And clubfantasyffl.com.
I am Faith at @FF_Leap of Faith. Follow Women of Fantasy Football at women_FF. Cool things are always happening there. Josh, how's our subscriber count going?
We are currently at 488. So 12 more and we hit 500.
And what happens at 500 subscribers?
We spin the wheel and we name a winner, and that winner gets to choose between a signed Stephon Diggs Bills jersey, a signed Nick Chubb Browns jersey, or a signed Mark Andrews Ravens mini helmet. You get to choose which of those prizes you want. That's how generous I'm feeling as apparently, Scrooge McDuck, the Grinch, all that other crap during Christmas that Faith likes to accuse me of.
Accuse you of. You yourself have told me numerous times that you don't like Christmas. I force Christmas down your throat by sending you cards and presents every year.
And your present this year was A1. That was fantastic.
Right.
It was
Ryan's is baller too. I was
much appreciated. Thank you.
When I sent them, I was like, these win. I knew it before I sent it. Because they like to think I don't know them, but I know them.
I never said you didn't know me. I know you know me.
You don't know that I know that you know. They don't know that we know that they know we know. There's a Friends reference for everything.
Love it.
There is.
All right. Once again, this has been Start, Sit, Different Day. Apparently, we will see you here next week on Christmas Eve, unless you have plans, in which case you can listen to us.
It's week 16. That's their plan. Starts a different day.
Or if you're a procrastinator, you'll be out Christmas shopping. You can still listen to us in the car. Don't watch us, though, if you're driving, because I just want to put it out there. We do not condone driving and watching our podcast. You can listen to us while we stream. Just don't look at your phone. We don't condone that.
Let your passengers watch.
There you go.
There you go.
Or just lay it on the seat and listen to the audio and pay attention to all the traffic as you're leaving the mall on Christmas Eve because you forgot to go Christmas shopping and it's now 11 a.m. on Christmas Eve, which is also a Saturday this year. So,
as you're swearing at people.
Good luck. Yeah. As you're circling the parking lot 64 times waiting for a parking spot and you find one and then somebody whips in from the other direction and steals it. And then go get coffee. All right. We will see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck.